This is Heavyweight Hustle, Calvin Tankman. Tune in to True Hill Heat Podcast. You won't be disappointed.
Hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. We are back once again with another preview here on the channel, here on the Patreon for everyone with our NJPW New Japan Cup 2023 preview and predictions. As always, I am here with the Master of Ceremonies for the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. It's Mr. J-News.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, your good brother J-News, and today we're talking about the New Japan Cup, the entire shebang from left to right side, from the 5th to the 18th. We got it going. So me and SP3, we're gonna break this down and let you guys know as to what's the goings on.
Yes, we starting off things on this Sunday, March 5th. A lot of content for this week here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, because you also got AEW Revolution as well on Sunday evening. But the morning time will be for New Japan Pro Wrestling with the start of the New Japan Cup 2023. Let's just get right into this bracket here and let's put it up here. J-News. We're going to start off with the March 5th matches. Of course, anyone watching, remember to drop the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. But like I said, let's start off with March 5th. Two big matches featuring members of Los Ingobernables de Japón. First up, this is one you're interested in, J-News. Sanada versus Taichi. Taichi. And then you got Tetsuya Naito versus El Phantasmo. Let's start off with Sanada versus Taichi. Who you got, J-News?
Come on, man. Is that a question, brother? Come on, man. That can't be a question. If y'all have been watching this particular version of your good brother J-News, which is the same version you've been watching since the beginning, Sanada is at the top of the damn card for me. So Sanada gets the win over Taichi. Gotta love those four guys, but at the end of the day, Sanada gets the win here. Just for my I don't know what to call it, but my fandom. Yeah, there you go. Sanada with the win here. It is what it is.
I'm gonna go with my heart, and my heart says just four guys is the greatest faction in all of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I'm going with Taichi after he proved himself in the matchup against Will Ospreay and Sapporo. I think he gets the win here, and we continue on with the story of Sanada just going to the depths of despair and the rock bottom that he needs to be at. That's what I think is going to happen here.
Listen, if that happens and he turns into Crazy Kaz, we got a problem, man. We got a problem. If I see him with like dyed red hair at some point, I'm gonna flip.
He needs to come out with balloons and everything. Let's talk about Sanada's LIJ mate, Tetsuya Naito, going up against El Phantasmo. El Phantasmo coming off the loss against Tama Tonga in Osaka at New Beginning. You got Tetsuya Naito coming off the big win over Shota Umino in Sapporo. Who do you got in this one?
El Ingobernable himself, Tetsuya Naito. He shall win this match. Look, LP, brother, man, you've been doing great since your conversion over to the heavyweight contention. Some losses, some wins here, but you've been showing strong. But this is Naito. Naito is coming off of this grand win, putting the career of the great Keiji Muto to bed. So I believe that if Tetsuya Naito wants to get a proper Tokyo Dome send-off, or not the send-off, but a roll call.
A real Tokyo Dome main event.
Roll call. Yes, a real Tokyo Dome main event. Even though that Noah show was crazy, like the production values and everything, man.
But he wasn't the actual main event. Chono stole the shot.
Exactly. Chono stole the show at the end of the day. So he wasn't able to do the roll call. So if Naito wants to do the roll call at the Tokyo Dome for Wrestle Kingdom 18, we will see him do well throughout the year of 2023. So this is where it begins here at the New Japan Cup. I have Naito winning this match.
I agree with you 100%. I think Naito is going to win here, and I think Naito goes far in this tournament as well. Let's move on to March 6th, and we go over to the right side, bottom half of the bracket. You got David Finlay versus Tomohiro Ishii. You got Shota Umino versus Yujiro Takahashi. We did our NJPW 51st anniversary preview that is up on patreon.com/True Hill Heat right now, and I think we both agreed it's David Finlay and Shota Umino, J-News.
Yeah. That's where we landed. Yeah,
we were both in agreement on that one. Little teaser for anyone who didn't, isn't already a Patreon backer, $3 a month. You get the rest of our predictions for that show. But that was for March 6th. Then we move on to March 8th, and we're back on the left-hand side, bottom half of the bracket. You got Ren Narita versus Evil, and Toriano versus Dunkzilla, Mark Davis of Aussie Open. First up, Ren Narita and Evil. Who you got, J-News?
I've got the young Ren Narita winning this match against Evil. The son of strong style does the damn thing. He defeats Evil. He moves on to face Jeff Cobb on the 13th. So that will be a banger of a match.
I think Ren Narita does get the victory here. I had to look. I put out the bracket because I had to look who they would face if they moved on, and I was like, I want to lean towards Evil to get some of his heat back from losing the Never Openweight Championships. But I do agree with you. They need to continue with the push of Ren Narita here. Him getting the victory over a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion is good stuff in my book. And then we got Mark Davis, Dunkzilla versus Toriano. This is very interesting because the winner of this matchup versus Will Ospreay. So
right. So I'm not too sure what New Japan's trying to do here. I'm not too sure what Gato's trying to do here. But much like Chaos does take on one another during tournaments, and they put on great matches. I would suspect the same of the boys from the United Empire. So I have Dunkzilla, the great Mark Davis, winning over Toru Yano here. I feel like there will be shenanigans and chicanery that will take place during the match, but Dunkzilla will overcome all that usual Yano magic and able to get the win here. Probably a short match too, less than 6 minutes. I'm calling it now. And then we'll get Dunkzilla versus Will Ospreay later on.
I think we may get that what you want is United Empire versus United Empire. It just won't be here. I'm going with Toru Yano, the great disruptor of all tournaments, Toru Yano, to get the victory against Dunkzilla here. And then finally, the final first round matchups. We're going to go to March 10th, the right side of the bracket, upper half. We got the other half of Aussie Open, Kyle Fletcher, going up against one half of the IWGP Tag Team Champions, Yoshihashi, while you got Shingo Takagi versus Aaron Hanare, two of the big hitters from Los Ingobernables de Japón and United Empire. First, Yoshihashi and Kyle Fletcher. Who you got?
Because I feel that they won't do... Put the bracket back up for a minute. I don't feel they'll do Goto versus Yoshihashi just yet. So I feel like Kyle Fletcher gets the win here if your Toriano thing comes to be. So Kyle Fletcher gets the win here. And he'll go up against Goto. And then with Shingo and we're the 10th, right? So Shingo and Hanare.
Yeah.
I got Shingo. So
I'm gonna actually agree with you. I think Kyle Fletcher beats Yoshihashi. This one is Yeah, it avoids the Bishamon versus Bishamon match, even though I know they would always deliver if Yoshihashi did get the win. I just feel like Kyle Fletcher beating Yoshihashi makes sense for what I'm thinking my big brain of Aussie Open being the next challenger for Bishamon. That helps with the singles victory for Kyle Fletcher over Yoshihashi. And then you got Shingo and Aaron Hanare. I think it's going to be one of the better matches of the first round, right up there with Finley versus Ishii and Naito versus El Phantasmo. But I got Shingo Takagi moving on and getting the win in that one. So then we're going to the 11th J-News, the 11th over back on the left-hand side. You got Sonata moving on against Taichi. So it's going to be Sonata versus Kenta for you. I got Taichi versus Kenta. And then you also we both got Tetsuya Naito. So it's Tetsuya Naito versus Chase Owens. I think it's very clear. Naito over Owens, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
We're in agreement there. And what do you got? Sonata versus Kenta.
I would have to go with Kenta here for the simple fact that it makes excuse me, it makes sense for Kenta to win here, being that he is now the strong openweight champion. Being that he is the champion in this particular match, no matter who he faces, I feel like Kenta's going to go over. So that will end Sonata's reign there short, because the New Japan Cup is a one and knockout tournament. So at the end of the day, this is where the reeling part of Sonata will begin in the sense of SP3 over here. So yeah, there it goes.
I'm gonna go with my heart again. It's Taichi. Taichi get the win over Kenta as well. Yes,
absolutely.
Taichi gets the win because Gato don't care about Kenta. Kenta only win in the U.S. He don't win in Japan. So Taichi beats the strong openweight champion. Yes, indeed.
I don't see that happening. Okay.
You heard it here first, folks. We got over on the 12th. We're back on the right-hand side, top half of the bracket. We both got Kyle Fletcher moving on, so he's going to be facing Hiroki Goto. We both got Shingo Takagi moving on, so it's champion versus champion, KOPW 2023 champion Shingo Takagi versus never openweight champion Tama Tonga. Who you got, Fletcher versus Goto?
This is a tough one, man. It's a tough one. The Aussie Arrows, he's quite a fierce competitor, man. But Hiroki Goto, he's been one of my faves for the last decade or so. So it's a tough call, man. I'll go Goto here, being that he's the veteran in the tournament. So I'll go Goto over Fletcher, and then it's Shingo versus who?
Shingo versus Tama.
Ooh,
that's an interesting one too.
So we got the KOPW champion versus the never openweight champion. Who should get the rub in this win? I mean, Shingo's done good things at the Cup. Tama hasn't done great things at the Cup as of yet. But I'm gonna ride the Shingo wave, man. But at the end of the day, Shingo's my guy. So I'm gonna go with Shingo here over Tama Tonga to advance in the tournament.
I'm going to actually agree with both of those. I think Goto gets the win over Kyle Fletcher, and I think that Shingo barely squeaks by against Tama Tonga. That's a really hard one. I wouldn't blame anyone who thinks Tama Tonga is going to get the victory in that one as well. But let's go over to the 13th over on the left-hand side here. We both got Red Narita moving on against Evil. So you got Narita versus Jeff Cobb. And then we differ in the bottom half here. I got Toriano moving on. So he would versus Will Ospreay. And you got United Empire versus United Empire in Dunkzilla versus Ospreay. So who you got top half first? Narita versus Cobb.
So I'm going to ride the Son of Strong Style into the semis. I have Red Narita over my man Jeff Cobbs. He will defeat Jeff Cobb. I'm not too sure how, but he will pull it out
somehow, some way,
and he will get the win here. Because I don't, for all intents and purposes, I don't believe it'll be 2 rounds in a row of Aussie Open versus of United Empire versus United Empire. So it'll be Ren Narita here getting the win over Jeff Cobb to continue the grand push of Ren Narita. And then we got Mark Davis versus Will Ospreay. And I'm picking Will, at the end of the day, because Will, I think the New Japan Cup's one of the only things he hasn't. Did he win the New Japan Cup?
Yeah, he did. That's
He
how
did,
he
okay,
won
right.
the World
Right.
Heavyweight Championship.
The G1's the one that Will hasn't gotten yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, but Will wins anyways. At the end of the day, he's got to show that he is still the leader of the United Empire at the end of the day, and that he's better than the rest. So eventually, it'll be Ren Narita versus Will Ospreay on the 17th, I think.
I disagree here. This is why I made my choice of Toriano beating Dungzilla, is because I think that Will Ospreay will beat Toriano, and I think that Jeff Cobb beats Ren Narita. So we then get the United Empire versus United Empire in the quarterfinals. That just sounds better to me. Jeff Cobb versus Will Ospreay. Yes. Give it to me.
The Imperial unit versus Will Ospreay. I feel you.
And then finally, the second round concludes on the right-hand side, bottom half on March 15th. You got the top half here. You got David Finlay moving on against Tomohiro Ishii. We both got that. So it would be Finlay versus Great-O-Khan. And then we both got Shooter defeating Yujiro Takahashi. So it would be Shooter versus Zack Sabre Jr. I'll go first this time, and I'll say I got Finlay over Great-O-Khan. I just feel like the Finlay's gonna make a run in this one, and he's gonna be the best Instagram account in all of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Great-O-Khan here. And then I got the Shooter beating Zack Sabre Jr. to set up a TV title match following the tournament. That's what I got for that bracket there. Who do you got?
Okay. So I got Finlay winning, right? So Finlay walks on and he does the damn thing, because as we stated, it's going to be a strong one for David Finlay at the New Japan Cup. He's going to ride this wave all the way to the finals. And yeah, man, I don't know about Shooter winning this one necessarily. I don't know about him winning this one. So I give it to ZSJ here, even though Shooter's one of my guys. ZSJ gonna walk on, and he will face David Finlay, and the Master Tekker will then stretch out David Finlay for a while, and we'll see what happens after that.
We shall see. So let's go on to the Elite Eight. The Elite Eight here. We're going to start off on the 17th with the Elite Eight. So you got Kenta moving on against Sanada. So it would be Kenta versus Tetsuya Naito in the top half here. I would have Taichi versus Tetsuya Naito, and you got Ren Narita versus Will Ospreay on the bottom half here, while I got Jeff Cobb versus Will Ospreay. So let's start with the top here. Who you got? Kenta versus Tetsuya Naito. Who wins?
I've got Tetsuya Naito beating Kenta. I believe that the Ungovernable One does even better here in the fight, in down to the Elite Eight, and he walks on to the Final Four, and then I got Ren Narita versus Will Ospreay. Will wins, but it'll be a strong showing for Ren Narita at the end of the day, but Will win that match, and it will be yet again Will Ospreay versus Tetsuya Naito in a grand scope match. So we'll see that go down.
You know what? I'm not going to go with my heart this time, and I'm going to go with my brain, my big brain here, and I actually agree with you. I got Naito beating Taichi, and I got Will Ospreay defeating Jeff Cobb to set up Naito Ospreay in the Final Four. So let's go to the right-hand side of the bracket, March 18th. For this part of the Elite Eight. So on the top half, we both got Goto and Shingo Takagi. And then the bottom half, we both got Finlay, but you got ZSJ, I got Shooter. I'm going with Finlay over Shooter, and I'm going with Shingo over Goto. Who do you got?
I've got Shingo over Goto, so we're sharing a brain there. But since I have ZSJ going up against Finley. Like I said, ZSJ will stretch Finley out. He will try to make him tap as much as we want, or as much as we desire. But at the end of the day, the shillelagh will get used, and David Finley walks away with the win here against ZSJ. So David Finley goes on to the Final Four.
So we got the same Final Four. Despite some disparity in the lead up in the different rounds and different matchups, we got the same Final Four. The Final Four is going to be on March 19th. So left-hand side of the bracket, it's Ospreay and Naito. Right-hand side of the bracket, it's Finley versus Shingo. I'm going with the left-hand side. Naito finally beats Ospreay after being 0-2 against Ospreay. He finally beats him. And I'm going on the right-hand side. Finley beats Shingo using that damn shillelagh. Who you got?
It makes the most sense, man. It makes the most sense, right? We have to have a definitive new heel guy gene going into this tournament. Will's no longer a freaking heel, no matter what he wants to think. So it is what it is there. So yeah, man. I never like to pick Shingo to lose anything, man. You know me. But the shillelagh does come into effect here yet again. He beats Shingo by the skin of his teeth, right? And uses the shillelagh to do it. So David Finley goes on to the finals. And Tetsuya Naito does get the win over Will Ospreay here. So that will be the moment. And Naito will be in the finals of the New Japan Cup versus David Finley. Now,
back-to-back years for Naito.
Back-to-back years for Naito.
In the finals.
In the finals. Did Naito win last year?
No, he did not. Against Zack Sabre Jr. But that brings us to the finals. It's going to be March 21st. We already know we're also going to see Hiromu Takahashi defending the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship against Leo Rush. So we'll do a standalone. Maybe I will do that one live, a live preview for the New Japan Cup finals when we know the final matchup and we know the lineup for the show. So between the Final Four and then we'll make sure we get that done. But it's going to come down to this. We both got the same finalists in this one. Tetsuya Naito versus David Finley. So we're gonna do like we have done the last 2 or 3 years. We did the 3-2-1, and we both said our winner at the same time. So we're gonna do this again.
Wait. Before we do this, let's put some fact out there. When was the last time Tetsuya Naito won the New Japan Cup?
The last time Tetsuya Naito won the New Japan Cup was 2016.
Right. And what happened that year?
He went on to defeat Kazuchika Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship.
Do we feel like Tetsuya Naito will go to Wrestle Kingdom this year and complete his mission? Is that in the hearts?
That's questions. That's questions we could do after we say our prediction. 3, 2, 1. Finley!
Naito. I got Naito winning here. I've got Naito winning here. The reason being, and I'll say this. The reason I have to, as to why I have Naito winning here, right, is for down the road booking purposes, right? So not to say that he's going to be in the main, he's got to be in the main event of the Tokyo Dome for one last time. So that's that purpose, but also for story purposes. If Naito wins here, right? If he wins, David Finley loses on paper, then in actuality, for character standpoint, David Finley's got to flip out, beat the crap out of Naito, do all that jazz, right? And then LIJ tries to come out. The freaking everybody from the Bullet Club comes out and defends David Finley. That, like the grand thing. Yes, Naito wins the tournament, but David Finley wins the night at the end of the day, and he becomes
that does nothing for Finley. That does nothing for Finley. He needs to win. This is how you make a new star in the heavyweight division. The reason why Zack Sabre Jr., you could pretty much put him in the heavyweight title scene anytime they won is because he won the New Japan Cup in 2018. He repeated the feat last year, and that just doubled down on you could just make him an instant main eventer at any point. But you need to win either a tournament or a title to establish yourself as a contender, as someone that should be considered a threat. And I think this is it for David Finlay. Not only that, we need new blood against Kazuchika Okada. We saw that at nauseum in 2022, Okada versus Naito. They had, 3-4 matches in 2022? We need a break. We need a damn break from that matchup. So give me Finlay winning this damn tournament, establishing himself as a main eventer. I don't even know if he's going to be the leader of the Bullet Club, but just establishes him as one of the top gaijins, as a contender, as a main eventer. He wins the New Japan Cup using the shillelagh again. And the boos, I can imagine the boos when he beats Naito. It's going to be amazing.
But that's my whole appeal about him losing and then beating the crap out of Naito afterwards, so the boos can rain down, because Naito's still like one of the top fan favorites and everything else in between. And him being the centerpiece of maybe even a new faction. Who knows? At the end of the day, forget the Bullet Club shit, but maybe even a new faction for David Finlay. But at the end of the day, I feel like they need to put even more heat on David Finlay if he's going to be the heel gaijin. So I think that
put the heat by him winning.
I don't think that does it, man. It just puts him in the main event title picture. Doesn't put the heat on him. The heat is if Naito wins, then the beatdown commences. That's where the heat comes.
You want another Okada and Naito. I am over that matchup.
No, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be Okada Naito. It doesn't have to.
Yes,
be.
it is. It is going to be. If he wins the New Japan Cup, he gets a shot at the world title. What are we talking about? I know,
but it doesn't have to be Naito. I mean, it doesn't have to be Okada. Is what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be Okada.
What are you talking about? Okada doesn't have another defense until he versus him.
That's not true.
Yeah, it is true. That's his next defense. His next defense is Sakura Genesis.
Okay, that's the all right, whatever, man. I'm just saying.
I'm poking holes in your logic, sir.
No, because I feel like this is supposed to go all the way to Wrestle Kingdom. That's my whole thing, right? So, and because you're right. Naito's supposed to face him at Sakura Genesis or whatever cases. So, maybe, at the end of the day, I don't. Maybe now you're right. You're probably right. But at the end, I think the story angle that I'm looking at it from makes sense just from a David Finlay standpoint, just to get more heat on him or whatever. But I don't see Naito win the G1 though. That ain't gonna happen, man.
Ain't gonna happen, sir. I don't know about that. I don't know if his body held up the last few times we saw him in the G1. But nah, this has been fun talking about this New Japan Cup. But as always, this is our predictions. These are not the predictions. Correct. If you feel differently, if you have someone else coming out of the New Japan Cup, let us know. If you're with us for the premiere, let us know in the live chat. I'll be chatting along with you guys, or let us know in the comments down below. If you're watching this as the sneak peek over on Patreon, let us know in the post comments down below as well. But yes, it's going to be a very interesting tournament, a lot of twists and turns, and a lot of great matches to come over the next month from New Japan Pro Wrestling. But J-News, let the people know where they can follow you on social media, man, and what you got going on over on Patreon. All
right, folks. Well, over on the Patreon, we're going to be doing some things, man, over on the Patreon. I got talking about the Fantastica Mania, and we're also going to be talking about that junior festival that Hiromu's booking and stuff like that. So check out for that content in the next coming week. And also, as SP3 said, we got some more previews and reviews to be doing over the next couple of weeks. I'll probably be tapping in weekly with the New Japan Cup results from a Patreon standpoint, just so I can keep everybody abreast of what's going on. And we'll keep it going on that end there. And you can always check me out on the Instagram _JONJOY. As I like to always say, I like to interact with the folk. hit me up. Let's do the damn
As
thing.
always.
Mhm.
You can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Hill Heat. Check out our other platforms, our sports channel, True Hill Heat Sports. We're going to have some baseball content coming over there as the baseball season is about to kick off. You also got True Hill Heat Check with myself and Chris G talking all things NBA basketball. You also got twitch.tv/True Hill Heat gaming, watch-alongs, gaming content over there. Like J-News said, patreon.com/True Hill Heat. For $3 a month, you get exclusive content like our NJPW 51st anniversary preview that is up there right now. You also got plenty of content if you're a New Japan fan right here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. Right now, we had plenty of content from this week since it's AEW Revolution week, but check out some of the content that you might have missed from last week concerning either NJPW or Across the Spear when it comes to Japanese professional wrestling, as you had Keiji Muda's grand finale review that we did last week with myself, J-News, and NK from the Wrestle Things podcast. You also had Speedball Mike Bailey chatting with me on True Hills BTR. We talked about NJPW versus Impact Multiverse United when Speedball will go one-on-one with Will Ospreay, and he explains why he thinks that match may go down as the greatest professional wrestling match of all time. So learn about that. And of course, we always talk about all things professional wrestling, including Kenji Muda's grand finale, including NJPW Battle in the Valley, True Hill Heat 214 from last Saturday with myself, Miss Chrissy Love, and special guest Rob Wilkins. So check all that great content out right now. And of course, like I said before, let us know in the comments down below what you think about your predictions for the New Japan Cup 2023 tournament. Tell us who you think is going to make the finals, the final four, and who do you think the winner is going to be. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. For J-News, it is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been our NJPW New Japan Cup 2023 preview. We are signing off until next